Welcome back everyone, NewMutator here, and I'm going to be showing you this isn't actually like a tournament or a league or any kind of like formal kind of thing. This is actually a random Rabble game. So this is something that I played pretty recently actually. This is a bunch of random people in a single game with randomly chosen captains by the game. So these are our two captains, Kush, starting up here in the looks like the northwest here, and then in the southeast it's going to be our friend Paris. And let's go ahead and look at the teams here. We have on Paris's team Billy Butt, Zone, Drunken, believe it or not. As it's funny because Paris and Drunken are best friends, and everything is rainbows and ponies between them. But then we got Glocky, Balboa, whoever that might be, and Arsenal. So I'm curious. Like a lot of these players, I don't even know who they are. Across, including the Kush. Like who is Kush? I have no idea. But he's going to be our captain. TV's on Take My Guns. Not sure who that could be. I've heard it's Mouse Leisure, but I don't really know. And then there's Bonky, who is like Drunken. I believe he is Australian as well. So that gives you an indication of like what time these were played at. Cremisi is on our team, and as you can see, here he is. And then whatever this is, Wibstoles or something. How do you pronounce that? And then Hi. And I thought I would, cast some Rabble games that I played, just if they're good, if they're fun to watch, just because to give some of these players that aren't able to make like more competitive settings, they're not able to kind of show up to that. If they're not able to if they don't make the cut, make the grade or whatever, then they can still kind of be featured and see themselves on YouTube and be able to have that experience. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. And so yeah, it's gonna be Capture the Flag, and this is the Fallen Lords version, I believe, of Keep Across the River. Although it's going to use the Mid-2 physics, so it has that going for it. So basically, I believe everyone's gonna run in to the middle here. And from what I remember, like this was actually a really close game. Like it doesn't feature like the best playing. Oh, and another thing, like while I was playing these games, I was actually not using a mouse. I was on my trackpad playing, and I'm okay on my trackpad. I'm not too bad, just because I've had a lot of practice. But it's nowhere near like competitive level play. Like I can't keep up with those guys, man. Like, are you kidding me? So, I'm kind of at a disadvantage, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna run in and do the best I can because there's really nothing on the line here. As it doesn't really matter. It's anybody's game. Anybody can win. Drunken, however, being the aggressive dude he is, he's gonna rush in here and ensure that his team grabs that middle hill just by pushing us back a little bit. And but he is going to take a little bit of damage on that one warrior. It's not going to be all that much, but it's going to be sort of significant. But is it worth having the hill? It very well could be. It all depends on what happens after that. After this, what happens next. I'm going to go ahead and leave the chat up just because some people might think it's hilarious or whatever. I don't know. I might read some of it, but I might not have time to really get into that. But I'll leave that up just in case you're interested. As it looks like, who's that? Zone? Zone is going to get through with a goal. It looks like some more units down here are going to get through, and Paris is actually flanking. So look at this. They got some units like flanking down here in the south where we have nothing, like nobody scouted or anything. It looks like here's a scout from High that's going to probably see all this happen. It looks like, who's that? Paris. Bonky is probably going to see Paris here and maybe try to do some damage. Takes out that Puskull. Who was that? Was that Paris? Paris, are you like inebriated? Like what's going on? He pussed himself. Oh, that's ridiculous. Paris pussing himself. He is going to run in and try to take out that dwarf. Is he going to be able to get it? I don't know. That one warrior looks like he keeps getting hit there. So I think I noticed that, and I'm going to try to start focusing down that warrior. But at the same time, here's another flank from Drunken. So Paris and Drunken kind of trying to tag team these pinch this middle force here with who is this? Looks like Billy Butt and company. They really could have took advantage of that and pressed the advantage, but instead we see them kind of, you know, content with just sitting on the hill area. I really think they could. What the heck? Oh my gosh! Crazy dud by Drunken. That could have worked to his advantage like incredibly. That was like right in the middle of all of these units. Who was that? That was TV's on, take my guns. That could have like destroyed all of those units there, including my dwarf. So I'm glad that he didn't say. I think it was my dwarf anyway. Glad he didn't kill it. It's pretty close. And capture the flag. Keep that in mind, as it looks like High is getting some stuff happening to him. Paris is running in, and it looks like all of a sudden we are getting overrun as Drunken's going to start moving in as well. Some pus going down from our flank. We have Kermisi on this big flank over here. He's going to try to decimate the mid, while Paris and Drunken overextends. Huge pus bomb of some sort on these units. Although I think I managed to avoid a lot of damage, but I don't know, somebody else got hit maybe, or I don't know, maybe it was me. I have no idea. I think all my guys are gonna get cleaned up though, for the most part. As what the heck are these guys doing in here? All of a sudden, yeah, I think I kind of slipped up, and that kind of took me out, because all of a sudden I'm like, where are my units? A couple of my guys basically went in and died to Drunken here, and all of a sudden it's, you know, very close, 50% kind of across the board, as Kermisi is kind of going to hold his own against looks like Arsenal and Zone on the archers there. He's going to kind of move in with that Thrall to kind of put him on the back foot so he can kind of get an advantage, but Wib Souls is going to get gunned down here by Drunken with a huge... Drunken and Glocky Balboa have all this melee in our backfield, and that's really not fun for us. Like, we're like, oh gosh, at least we have this dwarf still on the flag with Kush. Actually, that's kind of a lot of defense to just leave on the flag, but whatever, you know, it's just a random Rabble game, who cares? As, yeah, TV's on, take my guns, it's going to run around. I'm going to try to take some of these units and try to run them around, but I think Drunken's paying attention there because he didn't fall for it. I'm trying to lead them away from our archers so they'll survive, but that doesn't really work, as looks like Drunken was able to take out that archer. Although if Kush had moved in with that dwarf a little bit earlier, I guess we could have survived a little bit longer too. And here's the other thing, is Kermisi's just cleaning up, dude. Like, he is basically doing work on Arsenal and Billy Butt and whoever these guys are, Zone. They're just falling left and right to Kermisi's play in the middle here. So Kermisi holding his own in the mid. He retakes that island, and it's looking pretty okay. I mean, it's pretty close. We are sort of in the lead for now, but we need to make sure we hold on to that dwarf. As yeah, so far we have it held on, and I think High and Paris and company are going to basically flee from that dwarf. That's at least what it looks like to me. Although High's on our team, so I don't know why he would flee, but yeah. Looks like they're going to run away, but interestingly, instead of going for the flag, they look at the time on the clock. They're like, 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, we got time. So they're going to try to move on ahead and crush Kermisi, who doesn't have a dwarf at this point. So Kermisi, though, able to kind of basically take out Arsenal with these archers. Like, Kermisi's actually doing really well with these archers. I wouldn't be surprised if Kermisi had damage this game, just because, like, he is decimating. He's doing a lot of work here. Glocky Balboa is going to try to run in here, and he's going to take some damage from some archer fire. But we have to remember, Kermisi, he doesn't have any dwarves, but he does have some melee, so he might be able to hold his own for now against these units here. It looks like he might be able to do some damage. Yeah, he takes out one warrior, lickety split. And he's going to be able to hold on to his units and take out all of the archers. Every single last enemy archer there. However, he has to be careful because Drunken's going to move in, and instead of going for these Thrall, he's going to immediately take out and take out Kermisi's archers. Interestingly enough, and Paris is going to chastise him. He's going to say, Drunken, why are you doing this? You need to take out the Thrall, not the archers. I think that's what he's saying anyway. He's saying, get out of here. And so Drunken's going to be pushed back, it looks like, by these forces. And all of a sudden, you know, it's a little bit closer, 32 to 24%, and that Journeyman able to heal up a lot of those warriors. Although, is he out of heals? No, he's got a couple more. He's going to heal up, TV's on, take my guns, a couple of his stuff there as well. So yeah, all of a sudden we're looking pretty okay. Drunken's units, they're looking a little bit torn up there, as like 3 of them are basically almost dead. Paris here does have this dwarf, so if he uses that dwarf really well, he will be able to... what the heck? Did you see that? High totally misses. He whiffs with that Puskull, and Paris's dwarf is at large all of the sudden. This is, that was terrible. I was like, dude, I can't believe you missed. Like, why throw it away? But it doesn't matter. It's just some random Rabble game. So I'm like, okay, we're actually in a pretty good place. As long as High stays in this water, he can dance around and do some damage. But High just retreats back to the mid-hill. And I think instead of throwing bottles at his own units, he needs to like stay in the water so that Paris can't hit him, and basically keep them across the river here. And so that potentially we can push in and take their flag, because as it is, almost all our stuff is moving off our flag and moving towards the mid. So we have to be careful, as now there's only like a 7% differential. Do we have any more pus? I kind of doubt it. I don't think we do. But we do have that extra... We need to send that archer. What are you doing, dude? Send out the archers to try to snipe Paris's dwarf. If we can do that, then I guess we got it sewed up. But the other thing to think about is the lack of time on the clock. There's less than 2 minutes remaining, and it's going to take like 2 minutes to get to this flag here. So all of a sudden it's looking like it's going to end up in a stalemate when we kind of had this game sewed up. I think TV's on, take my guns, is going to start moving. What the heck? Where did that pus come from? And why did he miss the dwarf? Like, I'm like, dude, I can't believe you didn't throw that at the dwarf. But it's not like it matters because there's like a minute left in the game. Nice shot there, though, by High and taking out all that melee. And I think we might be able to converge on Paris's dwarf here. Although we have to be careful, as Drunken is going to take a little bit more damage here. And I do believe TV's on, take my guns, is going to move in and basically take out, was that Drunken? I didn't quite see. So all of a sudden we're doing really well, 30% to 12%, as I think the percentage is just halved in just a matter of seconds there. But there's a minute remaining and we're so far from the enemy flag. If we had a goal to contest, maybe this would work out for us. But as it is, all we can hope for is to you know, basically a draw here, as Kush and Paris are going to attempt to kind of parallel each other on the way to the flag, although High is now in the battle. He is going to pick up some of these kills on these Thrall. So Paris isn't going to get there in time. Drunken isn't going to be able to get there either. This freaking goal, High, you should have sent this goal to this flag, dude. Just saying. Should have tried to contest, pass on the goal to somebody with 0% and tell them to contest the flag. That's what I would have done. Anyway, can Paris get any more kills with 3 seconds remaining? It doesn't look that way. So 30% to 11%, and that's going to be that. And just as I predicted, Kramisi with 16 kills to 13 losses. You know, this was a pretty fun game to play in, I think, even though there was some pretty tough mistakes, I'd say. But in the end, it kept it pretty close, and so that's why it was fun, I think. But yeah, like I was saying, Kramisi with 129 damage. That's going to be more than anybody in the game. Though Drunken did, he performed pretty alright with 83 damage. He did manage to break into positive ratios despite nobody else on his team doing so. Which is really interesting because, you know, it's not that far apart when you look at it. Like 30% to 11% is not that. It is pretty close. I mean, it's like 19% difference, but you know, I don't know, whatever. I guess there was a lot of pus taken because, you know, you can see that we have more kills, or they have more losses than we have kills, and vice versa. So there was that going on. But yeah, this was a pretty fun game for me to play in. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching this random Rabble game. If so, let me know, and maybe I'll continue doing stuff like this in the future. So let me know if this is something that you want to see more of or not. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Nice.